would love it. It sucks. You would love it. It sucks. It sucks.
I bet I'd like it, right?
Dead I am the one exterminating sun, slipping through the trees, strangling the breeze.
Wow. That's right.
Dead I am the sky, watching angels cry while they slowly turn, conquering the worm. Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches. A slam in the back of my Dracula.
Yeah, you see, that's my shit. That's my shit right there. When you just did that last part with the digging the ditches and shit, that's what I was waiting for, baby. Yeah.
You better not be fucking with me, you obnoxious piece of dog shit. I'll kick you in the asshole and still you're turding out a bunch of fucking vital organs. You dumb motherfucker.
I'll kick you in the asshole, take the shit out your asshole, throw it at your face if you think I'm fucking with you.
I'll rub you out like the fucking orgasm I rubbed out from your fucking mom last night, you piece of cum doggy sperm dead bullshit.
I'll take my flag with the stars and bars and I will wrap it around your head so tight you won't be able to fucking breathe, you fucking cocksucking motherfucking piece of shit.
You wouldn't know a star or a bar if they came up and bit you on your motherfucking keister, you herpes-ridden, hepatitis C having, balding piece of fucking cow turd.
Only bars you know is mama had put you back after you got out of the junk tank.
Oh shit, bro. All right. Should we stop that?
I mean, I don't really want to, but I guess we have a duty to please that booty.
Did you just say fucking duty, bro?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Duty for the booty.
Listen. Kyle P. Dot's back in town to ruin the show. Listen, Kyle P. Dot's my man. He's great. He's going through a divorce. Told me to say a nice fuck you to his his ex-wife, excuse me, Veda. That's her name, Darth Vader.
Wow.
Yeah. So
okay.
We're recording this episode on behalf of his divorce and his future as a man getting that big hog wet. Taking that big old hog out and marinating that shit in the slathering old pussy juices of the ladies of FLA. That's right, I found out today Kyle's from Florida.
So you didn't stop with the redneck stuff?
Oh, once I start, I can't really stop.
It's difficult. I hear you, man. I heard you. It's difficult. It ain't the easiest thing in the world, man. That dog don't hunt.
So Kyle paid for another franchise, and what was the last one he did? Evil Dead. He did Children of the Corn earlier this year. He's banned until probably like third quarter 2021.
The third fiscal quarter.
Yeah. The third fiscal quarter for the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the meantime, he has requested one more trilogy. It's a trilogy.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Remember when trilogies were the hot shit in the franchise world? Now we don't do them.
Yeah, Blade, The Matrix,
Star Wars,
Dark Knight, Batman. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
But we're just fucking done with that shit now. We used to get to a third movie and then Hollywood would celebrate. Oh my God, we made it to trilogy level. We fucking did it.
Now they just keep going.
Well, now it's like if you're done at 3, you fucked up. Your franchise is a
Right.
piece of shit, dude.
That's true.
Even
That's
when
true.
like something's designed to be 3 movies, like Hunger Games, they're like, fuck that.
Yeah. No, and we don't have 4 movies out of it. We'll just cut the third one in 2.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now I hear they're gonna I think they're gonna do Hunger Game prequels. We're gonna have to cover those. They're gonna be about like the war of the colonies or whatever.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
we like the Hunger Games. That was one of the big surprises we ever had on the show.
Is
so.
Donald Sutherland going to be able to play younger than he did in the original Hunger Games movies? Because I've been watching that show, The Undoing, and that
Yes.
title could be talking about his skin.
He's very old now.
Yeah.
I actually
It
got
looks like he's
curious.
melting.
He's 80 something now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's great though in that show.
Yes, he is. He delivers very stentorian speeches.
It's also very Canadian. And whenever he plays a character, no matter where they're from,
Mm-hmm.
it's outside his box of accents he can do.
David E. Kelly, I don't normally do TV, but if in the 3rd or 4th episode you give me about 17 speeches, then I'll do it.
Boy, speaking of accents, man, I gotta say, I
Nicole
love that
Kidman,
show. Oh,
brutal. And she's good. She's a good actor. She just can't do accents.
Oh, we always say that. And I've been more forgiving of her slip ups over the last 30 years, but this show is like, oh my God. It's constant.
Yeah, no, she sucks. You know what movie made the most sense with Nicole Kidman? Was that movie The Interpreter, dude. Because she was playing a character from like a fictional African nation. So like
Yeah.
whatever the fuck accent she was doing, you just had to accept.
It's just stupid because Hugh Grant's in it. He's English. Just let her be Australian. There are more people in New York City than just native speaking born white Americans.
You know what's especially annoying to me about this is in the book The Undoing, Henry, this was a super fucking Jewy ass family.
Really?
Yeah, and they've de-Jewified. Of course, Jewishness is the only thing you're allowed to do this with in Hollywood.
Oh, like not make them Jewish is acceptable.
Yeah,
Just take it away.
No. If it was a family of any race, ethnicity, religion, or gender, identity,
Outcry.
there would be no changing it. But if it's a book about a bunch of Jews, you could cast Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant and call it a fucking day.
Wow, I didn't know that. I mean, that would have brought a whole different dynamic to the entire story.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Bravo,
Did you read-
HBO.
Did you read the book?
No, of course not.
You just read about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course not. Fuck do I know? It could have been written by Tom Perrotta.
What, I'm
for
gonna
all-
read one of these like hard boiled like this thing. I kind of like The Undoing because it feels like it's very 90s. I feel like I'm watching Malice or Sliver or something.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. No, it's good. It's a
All
good,
right.
good show.
But today, Kyle paid for the Rob Zombie trilogy. If you don't know about the Rob Zombie trilogy, Rob Zombie is a musician of some note who really thinks he's an interesting individual.
Yeah,
And
he does.
my God, he must look at himself in the mirror and go, I am so interesting.
Yeah, I'm cultured. I take it above. The whole rock thing is like a sheen for my deeper culture.
I have two theories. I think Rob Zombie is two types of people, and they're two of my least favorite and the least interesting types of people to me.
Oh, all right.
Rob Zombie grew up in the circus. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So he grew up in the circus and then like became like a metal guy and then started making horror movies. So I feel like he's one of these guys that doesn't actually have a personality. He's just like a mess of like idiosyncrasies. That's all it is. It's like, look at all my quirks. That's who
Yeah.
I am. And then I'm like, okay, can I ask you about yourself? And they're like, myself? Who am I?
Okay. That's a good theory. What's the other theory?
All right, my other theory is dudes that are into horror and they think they're cultured because it's like, I like all the kinds of horror.
Oh, yeah.
I'm cultured. I watch foreign films. I watch giallo horror movies.
Right. That
I
makes
know
you
Dario Argento. That means I know about film.
Yeah, I actually think it's quite possibly. I mean, you could just merge your theories into one big.
Yeah, that's just one.
They're not
boring
hypocritical.
Guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew this dude in college. I had this horror professor who she does podcasts now. People might know her. Her name is Rebecca McKendry. She's I have nothing bad to say about her. She was very nice, great. But she had this husband, Henry, who she's still married to. So don't like tweet at her or anything. But he was this horror dude, and he was like a metal dude. And so I think he like played metal music, and he had like tats and drove a motorcycle and maybe like some face tats, and he was super. And he like made music videos that looked like horror movies for metal bands. I think he made videos for like Gwar or something. And like I met him a couple of times, and I was just like, "You're not even a fucking person."
You're a collection of tattoo ideas.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's all you are. You're just a fucking tattoo catalog in human form.
Yeah.
You dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah, that's probably what RZ is here. Yeah, I like it. I like the theories you've posited.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So he when he was trying to break through in the movie industry, he got to start like directing music videos for his band White Zombie, and then for his amazing solo act, Henry. Do you remember when he released that Hellbilly Deluxe?
It does sound vaguely familiar, and I don't know why, because
I think Dragula was on it. I think Living Dead Girl was on it.
That's great.
It was such a big record. Those songs were on all the time.
Well, I mean, we talked about him a while ago when we did Halloween. But
yeah, sure fucking did.
Yeah. So I mean, but like my knowledge of him was really basic as a kid. I remember just the fucking stupid White Zombie video, Thunder Kiss 65. That's
65. Wasn't it 69?
No.
Did I make that up?
He's not funny enough. He's not funny enough to come up.
What are you talking about? What about his hilarious cover of Brick House over the closing credits of the movie we're about to cover?
Oh my god. Oh.
You didn't like that? It's just the song Brick House, but with his stupid fucking voice.
There's no arrangement to it at all.
It's a brick house!
Yeah. He's really got a feel for soul, very funky kind of guy.
Yeah,
he's got
bro.
Rhythm and blues. I'd like to see like Higher Ground by Stevie Wonder covered by him.
I bet he's got that on vinyl though. I bet he's the type of dude like he's got a lot of good collections. If you go over his house, he's like, "Here's my action figures. Here's my vinyl." Yeah.
And he's got lots of best ofs.
Best albums?
Yeah, best ofs. So he can say that he likes people.
Yeah,
So, like,
no,
when-
I disagree, Henry. I feel like he's the type of dude that does have a lot of, like, he'll have, like, one obscure thing by, like, every artist that he's interested in, so he could be like, nobody has got this one.
Oh, well, that would be a very deliberate, ploy.
Like, he has, like, 2 Sunhouse records, like, a best of, and then, like, a super obscure, like, 35, what do they call it? 45? I call it a 35.
35 millimeter print of Sunhouse. Yeah. And on his bookshelf, he's got like a Hitchcock Truffaut book, and then next to that, it's like
Infinite Jest.
Exactly.
Which
and then maybe
he
like
read the first 200 pages of, but tells people that he finished.
That's right. And the Camus' The Stranger, and then right next to that is like fucking Fangoria magazine, like 300 issues of that.
Yeah, his copy of Camus' The Stranger that he read when he was 16, but keeps it on his bookshelf to look smart.
I didn't read shit when I was 16.
Well, his characters didn't. He's one of these guys that's like really fascinated by like the quote unquote real America or whatever, but like, you know, he's been insanely rich since like 1992. Like these fucking are you kidding me? Like
real America.
Every character Rob Zombie has ever created would vote for Trump, and but Rob Zombie's the type of person to like once like the going gets tough to like just look down on all those people. And that's why I don't like any Rob Zombie characters, because he doesn't seem to like any of them except for maybe the serial killers.
Yeah. Yeah.
He seems to have zero interest in any of his characters that aren't like cutting the shit out of human beings.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. They're just your standard. You got your Hardwick and your Rainn Wilsons just turn out to be. I mean, anything that they bring is just brought by them.
The title of the movie is House of 1,000 Corpses, by the way.
Yeah, that's what we're covering.
House of 1,000 corpses.
1,000.
Yeah.
1,000 corpses.
The House of 1,000 corpses.
That's a lot, man.
So fucking many, dude. It didn't look like that many either. Like if the movie was called like House of 58 Corpses, I might have bought that.
Yeah, be like, okay, this guy got it done. 58 is a huge amount of people.
It's still fucking impressive, man. Don't.
Yep.
I've killed the most corpses.
Yeah, I mean 1,000, man. I don't even. I mean, and there's like supposed to be 1,000. If they're all 1,000 are like from the hospital where this Dr. Satan worked in, that's a lot of patients.
Oh yeah, it's a good point, man. He would have gotten caught eventually.
I mean,
like
also,
Hugh Grant.
Yeah, I mean, where was the size of this hospital in this shithole town? Like, how many beds did this hospital hold? I mean, Beth Israel holds like 2,500 beds at most.
Well, you gotta think, like, this is a guy who doesn't want to get caught. So he's probably only going to murder, say, a fifth of the patients in the hospital. So let's assume they've got 5,000 beds. He's taken 1,000 corpses. And I don't feel like this could have happened over the course of a long time either. Because, like, it seems like they have, like, this well-established home in there where they have, like, traditions that they do every year, the killers.
Well, I don't
Can
even
we talk about the movie? I feel like we're in the weeds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even understand.
I feel like fucking Mary Louise Parker, bro, because I'm in the weeds.
Yeah, I didn't even understand half of the fucking connection to this house, to what's going on underneath, and all this other shit. Nor did I care.
Let's talk. House of 1,000 Corpses by Rob Zombie. It was released April 11th, 2003. On a budget of $7 million, it made $16.8 million. It made money. It came in 129 at the box office. Right there between Gods and Generals, the great sequel to Gettysburg, and Confidence. If you ever want to see Dustin Hoffman being a dumb piece of shit.
That's a terrible movie.
It's pretty bad.
Two terrible movies.
Yeah.
I saw that in theaters.
Ed Burns, dude.
Yeah, I remember. I saw that in theaters.
That movie might be peak Hot Rachel Weisz, though. I mean, every movie's peak Hot Rachel Weisz.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even remember that. Sure.
You know what movie's really peak Hot Rachel Weisz is Enemy at the Gates, bro.
Oh, you just watched that, right?
Yeah, but do you remember this scene? I forgot this completely.
I didn't see that movie, I don't think.
You gave it a 2 on Letterboxd. Listen.
There you go, I saw it.
Jude Law they're like sleeping
in
like a whole room of soldiers, and they just like fuck on the sly. She like reaches down, grabs that big Jude Law hog, and pulls down her own pants a ways, and then he just slides in, bro. And it's like a long sex scene. You see the entire fuck. You see him come.
Wow, that's interesting. Is hog your new nomenclature for dick? I've never heard you use that one before.
I like it. Dog is another good one.
Okay. I always confuse Enemy at the Gates with
Enemy of the
Hearts
State?
War.
Hearts War? That's funny. I always confuse that with Tears of the Sun.
Yeah. And is Gene Hackman in Enemy of the Gates?
No. What are you thinking of? Are you thinking Behind Enemy Lines, bro?
Yes! Oh my God.
War movies of the early aughts.
Wow. What a early decade. Oh my.
All right, so Zombie at this point gets contacted by Universal. This is in the year 2000. Y2K Mania.
Yeah.
All right? It's the millennium has just begun. We're all settling in.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob Zombie gets pitched by Universal to make a haunted house at their Halloween Horror Nights in California. That's like a big deal.
All right.
You ever go to those haunted houses? You like guys jumping out, scaring you?
Not really. I mean, I like that. I like when I go to like an amusement park. I love going to a haunted house, but I'm not going to travel into the middle of fucking haystacks to go to one of those really hardcore, like put together festival type shit. I've never done it. Have you?
I think I went to one and I didn't like the experience and I never went back.
Yeah, there's too much invested in that. I'm not going to get in my car and drive 45 miles to. It's not. No
I
thanks.
do think that people that are super into Halloween to the level if they're going to do something like that are lame. And I'm aware that a lot of them listen to this podcast, and I just called you lame.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, they're a big thing. Those types of houses.
They're major. Yeah. All right. So Zombie's making one, and he likes his haunted house so much that he's like, I can make this a movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's all he needed.
And Universal is like, yeah, I mean, sure. Like, can you do it with $4 million? And Zombie's like, sure, but he can't. He like went over budget, and then they saw the movie. They were like, this is gonna get an NC-17 because everyone in it is like a sociopath. So like, we're not gonna release it. So Rob Zombie went ahead and bought the rights to his own movie from Universal. And do you know all this?
Only bits and pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. So please feel free, please.
He makes a deal with MGM. MGM is going to release it, okay? Then MGM decides it's going to get an NC-17. We can't release it either.
That's fucking great.
Yeah. So they drop it, and Lionsgate picks it up. This was a thing Lionsgate was doing a lot at the time, was picking up movies that scared major studios and they thought were going to get NC-17s and releasing them. They made a lot of money this way, actually. Lionsgate did well with this strategy. The first one I can remember them doing this with was Dogma, which was dropped by Miramax over like Catholic League protests. And
I didn't remember that Miramax dropped that.
Yep.
But they're like, they were fucking real tight back in the day.
Yeah, no.
And...
Miramax gave it back to Kevin Smith for free because they were so tight, and Kevin Smith got it to Lionsgate.
I love that Dogma was controversial. I remember that so well.
I know. Rubber shit monster. So, like, that was a thing there. They did this with a bunch of other movies. I think maybe Brown Bunny they did this with.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Like, no. I kind of like that idea. Like, my company's going to just take rejects.
And it makes artists trust them.
Yeah. Okay, I just had a vision in my head when you were describing, like, the various production companies taking them from Zombie and him. Can you, I just had, like, a vision that popped in my head of, like, Rob Zombie sitting at an executive's table with like his fucking dreadlocks and like his sunglasses on,
yeah.
And he's like,
and I bet he's sitting back, like, aren't you guys fucking afraid of me? Look
at me. Yeah.
Look how crazy I am.
Yeah, and like, does he take off the glass? Like, does he wear a suit?
No. I think he wants to intimidate them. He goes in full-fledged. And one of the reasons MGM dropped the movie, Henry, was because Rob Zombie said in an interview. Like, he was trying to, like, big up the movie, and he said that he doesn't think MGM has a conscience for releasing his film. That's how cool and hardcore the movie is. And MGM was like, that's a pretty fucked up thing to say about us as a company. Maybe you're right. Let's not release the movie.
What an asshole. Dr. Sirloin sent me an email, some funny shit on YouTube showing
Not Dr. Satan, Dr. Sirloin?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah. Dr. Sirloin, it's of a quick clip of John Carpenter basically calling Rob Zombie a complete piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, he is. All right. So this film was nominated for one award, Henry.
Oh, I looked, and I think it was an award I don't have a theme song
I'm
for.
pretty sure you've got it. Oh, wait, maybe you don't. It's the Teen Choice Awards. You don't have that? I think I was thinking of the People's Choice.
Well, before the show, I scanned it again. I went through some of my themes, and I found the Kids' Choice Awards, and I found another weird one. But I had also thought I had done a teen. Listeners, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I don't believe I have recorded a teen.
Well, let's hear
choice.
one of those themes. Play the Kid's Choice or the People's Choice, and we'll
Really?
just say teen over the word kids or peoples.
Okay.
I could do that. I'll do an edit.
Okay.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Here you go.
Which one is this?
People.
The people
Teen.
make the choice. It's up to the
Teens.
people. Choose as they see fit. Fitbit. Choosing the people.
Teens.
Choice awards. It's the choice awards to the people.
Teens.
I mean, it could have gone worse.
I think that was mellifluous. Someone record that. That's the Teen Choice Awards theme.
every time he says teen, this theme cutting out because our mics can't handle two sounds.
No,
at
I
the
think
same
it sounded better than you think. All right, listen. It was nominated for Choice Horror Film. Okay, but it lost to The Ring. Could you believe that the one award this was nominated for was the Teen Choice Award? Like, what fucking teens?
Oh man, it's probably like, in 2003, where was I? I was in Pittsburgh. It's probably like when I go to Ides comic book store. I've told you about Ides. You know about Ides, right?
I guess.
Yeah. No. I mean, you told me you've heard of it because it's like a massive comic book store. It's probably like the teenagers who are in the basement of Ides looking through comics and they have all kinds of horror regalia. Those guys, they're teenagers.
I don't know,
They love
man.
this shit.
But those are the people voting for the Teen Choice Awards? I was a teen at the time. I don't remember people talking about this movie.
Oh, you were a teen at the time.
Yeah.
Teen at the time.
I was like 16, yeah.
6 fucking teen.
I was the right age for this movie, man, but I skipped it at the time. I saw it after Devil's Rejects came out. I wanted to see Devil's Rejects because I remember when that movie was released, all the trailers made it look like Hills of Eyes. And so that made me interested.
Intentional. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't. This movie couldn't have been further out of my wheelhouse in 2003. I couldn't possibly have been less interested in this, but I do remember when it came out. Oddly enough, it's still completely out of my wheelhouse, despite my love and discovery of horror film.
I don't know. Well, yeah, it's not your thing. It's very influenced by, I would say, foremost like old school, like William Castle and Herschel Gordon Lewis. Is that a person?
I think you're being. I mean, we'll get into it soon enough, but I think you're being kind.
No, I think that's the intention.
That's the intention, but a lot of the intention is so fucking in your face obvious. It's like it's not even subtle like a fucking Tarantino movie, and I don't even think I'd ever call him subtle. But like it's not like when you're influenced by something, it's like you're showing shades of it here and there. You're not just taking it and then just like shitting it all over the screen.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. It's also there's a lot of Wes Craven here. He clearly fucking loves Wes. It's weird that he directed a Halloween movie because, like, to me, he's so much more in line with Hills of Eyes and Last House on the Left and
yeah, he's into cruelty.
The first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, actually, the first two. There's a lot of Texas Chainsaw 2 in this fucking movie.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. But it's all through the Rob Zombie filter, and I think that this is a first-time filmmaker who did not have a handle on the project that he was making and let it run out of control. He said that he intended it to be much more down-to-earth and like scary and dark, and like it got wackier and wackier as filming went on. And I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when you're a first-time filmmaker and you don't know how to control the tone of your film. Yeah. Like, the easiest thing to do is to let it get wackier and wackier. He's lucky that he had an editor that was able to, like, cajole it into, like, something watchable and a cast that was, like, game. And, I mean, while I would say maybe 50% of the cast I wanted to fucking murder myself, they were at least all, like, going for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all into it, that's for sure.
Yeah, everyone seems to think they're making something good. They're all wrong. But
yes, that is totally correct. I only got the impression one actor kind of knew that he was in something real dumb.
Who's that?
Walton Goggins. He's too smart to know this isn't a fucking stupid thing.
But I still think like he's not holding back. He's doing the thing
No,
that he's asked
no.
to do. I think Rainn Wilson kind of knows what it is. I don't know.
He might. I mean, anyone who's that as smart. I mean, I don't know if Rainn Wilson's smart. He strikes me as a smart guy.
At the time, Rainn Wilson was an up-and-comer. He was actually an acting coach. He was
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was doing that full time until he got The Office.
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's a character actor. He makes
Yeah.
very specific choices, and that did him very well in that one role.
Yeah.
hmm Remember when Rainn Wilson? We were like, well, what if he's in movies? Let's put
The
him
Rocker.
in movies. Yeah, I saw The Rocker in theaters.
Oh, dude.
I know.
I didn't like him that much.
Dude, I can't even explain it.
Yeah,
Emma
he's one
Stone
of those
was
people.
in it.
It's almost
Emma
like
Stone
one of those.
was in it. That helped.
What's that?
Emma Stone was in it. That might have been why I was like, well, Rainn Wilson and Emma Stone, that might do it for me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, who came out of The Office with a career except for Krasinski, really? And obviously Carell.
What do you mean? Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey have the #1 podcast on the internet, right? I mean, other than Rogan.
Oh, of course.
They're hosting a podcast, Henry, called Office Ladies, where they talk about The Office. They go through all the episodes of The Office. They're like, remember that? That was fun.
Aw, that kind of makes me sad.
I know, it's depressing. It's
Jeez.
really successful, though. So, like, good for them. It's like a way bigger podcast than ours.
What about ours? We have no, but Rashida Jones, she did a couple of movies, right?
She's in the new Sofia Coppola film.
Good.
Have you watched
And
that?
Which one is it?
It's on Apple app. Apple
Then
the
no.
app.
Then no.
It's good, man. New Sophia, bro. It's her and Bill Murray. It's a real two-hander.
Oh, yeah. Well, I won't be able to see it until it becomes a real movie accessible to other people.
Well, that is a real movie that's accessible to everybody. It's a password that I can give you at any moment you'd like. And
I recall I tried that, and if you're not an Apple user, you cannot download that app.
well,
at all.
you know, maybe it's 2020. I can see why they would assume someone would be an Apple user.
Maybe I could assume they want to just have their movies seen by anyone and everyone, and they'd open it up to the general public.
Maybe they're counting on you to get this frustrated and to one day, in a fit of wanting to see the movie, sign up for a $6 a month subscription just to watch the movie, which is probably worth $6 in itself.
Maybe I would if I was allowed to, if I owned an Apple product that would
I'm
allow me
sure
to
you
carry
can't watch that shit on... You don't have a one Apple product in your house?
I have a 2009 iPod.
Can I give you... I'll give you my iPad. I never use it.
I'm good.
Are you fucking kidding? You're turning down that offer? I want that on record, everybody. What a stubborn piece of shit this guy is.
Well, you didn't give me your iPad. I can't take that from you.
I haven't used it in 3 years.
Sure, I'll take your iPad.
Okay, great. Oh my god, you're exhausting. All right, this film.
Fucking Apple.
It starts, it's like one of those, old-timey horror shows, right?
Yeah.
It's Dr. Wolfenstein introducing you to the film. And then we see an ad for Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madmen, which is also advertising fried chicken and gasoline.
Right.
I enjoy that they sell fried chicken.
It's
funny.
right out there. It's right out there. It's right in your face. You got Sid Haig's big mug.
Yeah.
Yelling
You know what,
at you.
though? I rip on Sid Haig a lot because he's like so synonymous with Rob Zombie at this point. But he's really good in this movie.
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, everyone in the movie is doing like 1,000% over the top performance. So it's kind of hard. Like I have like an LVP, but it's not even, I almost feels invalid because like the performances by the over the top characters are hard to even criticize. Do you know what I mean? Because they're so in your face.
Yeah, but I also think that, I mean, there's a gauge and a level, and there's a way to be over the top and watchable, and a way not to be. And Sid Haig, I think Rob Zombie watched this movie probably a lot. He probably just sits in his fucking basement watching this movie all the time. Like, remember when I made that movie? Everyone liked it.
Yeah,
fucking.
right.
But like I think he saw it, and when he was planning Devil's Rejects, he was like, these are the characters that worked. These were the performances that I think, these are the people that know how to deliver my stupid fucking dialogue. And so he took his wife, Bill Moseley, and Sid Haig, and brought them over. I don't like Bill Moseley in this movie, but
Either do I.
yeah, but I think Sid Haig is really great. And I think fucking Sherry Moon, man, is like doing the job.
She's fine. Yeah, no, I know. She was one of those people that like I was really looking forward to hating.
I love shitting on her. She sucks. But like, I think in this movie, like, what is she doing in this movie that's any worse than what Margot Robbie is doing in fucking Suicide Squad?
Yeah, it's fine. She's fine. I mean, but Bill Moseley did really get on my nerves. But again, like I don't think it's his
part of that's the fright wig, man. That fright wig he's got on sucks.
Yeah, it's really just the dialogue and the
Moseley's whole performance is speeches, and I feel like Rob Zombie like patterned this family, the Firefly family, who's like the focus of this trilogy, on the Manson family. And what he knows about the Manson family is that they killed people and they had manifestos. And so he gave Bill Moseley all these speeches like that were all like supposed to be like the Firefly family's manifestos, but he like never thought for like more than 5 minutes about like what the Firefly family actually wants or thinks or believes.
That's
and so
right.
The speeches are all just sort of long and contradictory and profane and don't really add up to anything more than in this moment we're going to have this crazy guy delivering a speech.
Yeah, that's exactly the summation of what I was thinking when he kept doing that over and over again. I was like, okay, but like, because like even in Texas Chainsaw, like you don't get those, you don't need those. You're in a place that's insane and evil, and that's just what it is.
But you also sort of can sense history and tradition in the family in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That here, like when Sherry Moon gets up there to like sing or like lip sync or whatever, which is a funny scene, or when the grandfather does stand up comedy, which I did not think was a good scene, they present it like this is a tradition. We do this the night before Halloween every year, and it's been that way since like the beginning of the family. But like, there's no history built up. It doesn't seem that way. It seems like you're doing this for the first time because they're there and you're in a movie.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what it seems like. It seems like a form of audio torture and some kind of visceral torture before the actual torture. And you know, there's just so many threads that don't make any sense either. Like in the very beginning, when it starts with the robbery of Sid Haig's joint, like I don't know how to take him. I mean, and then at the end, that
scene was unnecessary. I forgot about that. Yeah, there's a prologue set in by the way, October 30th, 1977.
Wink, wink, John Carpenter.
Yeah, I love studios, by the way. Like Universal watched the first 5 minutes of this movie. They were, that's a Halloween reference. Let's get him to direct. I hate Hollywood. So there's like this prologue scene where it's like a I think what he's going for is something as iconic as the opening of From Dusk Till Dawn.
That's what I thought of. I thought of that movie too, but he doesn't come anywhere close
Not
to
even
having
near it. Yeah.
nothing. Not even in the fucking film stock. Like nothing comes close. And then it just
This movie
dropped.
could have been so much cheaper, by the way, if he didn't do so much experimentation with film stocks in this
I
movie.
hated it. I hated that
It doesn't
stuff.
add anything.
No, it detracts because it made me keep wanting to look away because I don't know about you, but I really don't need to be staring at people being vivisected and skinned alive in flashes of red gore. Like, it's just so ridiculous.
Well, that's another Manson thing. They're flashing to like what they see as like the Manson home videos or something. But also what this does, how'd you feel about this? Because we start getting those flashes pretty early in the movie before the four main people get abducted. And it's a spoiler. Like at this point, you're not like you meet Sherry Moon and you don't know about her yet, and you meet Sid Haig. Like you know there's something off with these people,
Right.
but like you don't know exactly what. But then they keep doing flashes of them like abducting cheerleaders and fucking killing them. And so it's just like I think Rob Zombie has so little interest in the beginnings of horror movies, like the setup and the characters, that like he needs to tell you like we're gonna be through this boring part soon, guys.
Yeah,
you're gonna see people getting killed, bro.
Yeah, and we're gonna subliminally start showing it to you before we've basically even gotten off the ground.
Yeah, it's like get pumped. Get this
Yeah.
movie. You might think you're bored now. I'm very concerned about that, but like, look. We're gonna be chopping off some fucking tits soon.
Guess what, man? He didn't need to be concerned about me being bored for lack of exposition. I was bored because it's like having my head put through a fucking sewing machine at 90 miles an hour.
Totally.
And Sid Haig, you know, his character. See, I agree with you about Sherry Moon. You see the flashes of her early, but I didn't even like this. What I was alluding to earlier. I was never quite clear if Zombie's intention was to throw you off about Sid Haig completely or make you suspicious, or if he didn't care. Because there was a part of me that was halfway through the movie going, oh, all right, so I guess Sid Haig is just like a fucking violent weirdo who murders bank robbers, but not a fucking crazy
member of the Firefly family.
Yeah, and then but then it's like he is, so then
That's
it's like
the twist. I think Zombie. Anytime you are asking, what does Rob Zombie want me to think, Henry? He doesn't.
Yeah.
He fucking doesn't. Haig is set up as like a weirdo, a very verbal weirdo at the start of the movie who's like a bad clown. And like he's good in that role. And then you just sort of forget about him for a lot of the movie. He's gone.
And like Dan and me, you know, for however long ago it was, 2 or 3 years now, we did Halloween. We're making fun of the way the characters talk, but it's fucking true. Like he just Zombie like revels in these. He thinks he's like got away with swearing.
Yeah,
that makes it really.
You
creative
can tell
and
he thinks
funny.
that he's like a really like profane Aaron Sorkin or something.
Yes. He thinks he's like God. He feels like he's Scorsese working with De Niro and Pesci, and they swear, and like he's got that creativity of the way they use foul language. And
from
it's
the
just
very
not.
beginning of this movie, like the opening, like even before the robbery happens in Sid Haig's place, Spalding's, like he's hanging out with like his one worker, and the worker's like, I gotta go take a fucking shit. And he's like, oh yeah? You gonna drop some fucking turds out of your tight little butthole?
That was awful. I mean, that's a perfect example. It's like, what are you doing? Like nothing in it comes across as unforced.
Yeah. So let's check in 2003 with these people. We meet 2 men. The women are sleeping in the back, because who the fuck even gives a shit about women?
Not Mr. Zombie.
No. I mean, imagine watching this movie today not knowing what you're getting into, and then you sit through that Sid Haig scene, you're like, ugh. And then the movie starts and you're like, oh, great, the movie's starting. And then the first thing you have to look at is fat Chris Hardwick and Rainn Wilson.
Very strange. But wait a minute. I do want to ask you a question or correct you. I'm not sure. Talk about me not understanding it. Does not the whole movie take place in 1977? I don't see a 2003 cut anywhere, like a showing of that.
Well, maybe you're right.
I am right.
Are you 100% sure?
I'm almost 100% sure. That's why everyone looks kind of like they're wearing flannel, and the girls have that 70s hair, and Hardwick's got the shaggy dude.
I didn't even realize that.
There's
guess
no time jump.
That scene at the beginning that feels like a prologue is so disconnected from the rest of the movie that I thought that was like... But I guess you're right. It's because then it says, like, later on in the movie, like, when it goes to the next day, it says, like, October 31st.
Right.
Halloween, the same way Carpenter does it. And I'm like,
that's right.
Fucking eye roll, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you got Chris Hardwick, who's playing a misogynistic piece of shit. You've got Rainn Wilson, who's playing a simpy fucking cuck. And they've got two girlfriends who are asleep, and they're on a road trip across the country doing a book of roadside attractions, which is also the premise of Lovecraft Country on HBO.
I feel
a
like
much better thing.
That's a premise in a lot of different types of movies, like even in low budget found footage shit. Like everybody's looking for we're looking for UFO sightings, we're looking for Bigfoot sightings, we're recording the conversations of Blair Witch resident. You know, it's always
it's a TV premise. Has that been done for television?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it in general. I feel like I've seen this.
No, you're right. I have too, but I don't know if I ever have on TV, and it seems like it would lend itself to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's been done. I mean, in movies, though, countless fucking times. So, you know, when they were doing that, I was like, oh, all right, whatever. I mean, this is not new. This is done to death, but okay.
It's whatever. It's a good framework. I'm willing to
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, so they're there at Spalding's. This is not one that they, like, intended to stop at. They just sort of came across it when they were looking for gas. So when they stop in, they see, like, it's fucking cool. Hardwick's really excited about it. There's nothing more annoying than an excited Chris Hardwick. Hey, I'm liking this. Everything's good. Yeah, wow, points. Sports ball.
Right on, bro. That's the other thing about Spalding's joint is that they bring you in, and it's supposed to be like this really wild, cool place, but Zombie, I don't know if he didn't. He's just
it's all right. No, it seems cool.
It's got nothing in there though.
I disagree.
I thought there'd be
cool.
like, what?
It seems cool to me.
No, but let me finish. I was going to say like I thought it would be like you go into one of these shops and it'd be like curios and some weird things, and kind of the glare is just like this redness. You don't know really what he sells.
I don't think he sells anything, dude. It's like a museum of oddities.
But the only thing we really see is the ride he takes them on, right?
Well, but there's stuff on the walls. They're like walking around. There's like super serial killer memorabilia. And then they go on the murder ride, which Chris Hardwick's very excited about. Murder ride! Hey, I'm excited! Murder ride! Points!
Talking Dead.
Hey, welcome to The Talking Dead. I'm Chris Hardwick. Hey, tonight on the show, we've got that girl who played Tara. Remember that character? No one gives a fuck.
All right.
Tonight on Talking Saul, we're going to have, we have about a third of the audience here, I see. Not as many people watching Talking Saul.
Tonight on At Midnight, we've got the cast of the NBC show Superstore. They're going to be making jokes about current events and things that are happening on the internet. Points. All right. All right, so they go on the murder ride. The murder ride's pretty cool. Sid Haig is funny.
Right. It's all right.
They go down that road, and they have Lizzie Borden and some real serial killers, and then the last one's a fake one, Dr. Satan, which they're very interested in because Dr. Satan made his murders in a very nearby area. So they go off. Sid Haig gives them directions to a tree, where I guess like Dr. Satan killed people?
No, where they hung him.
All right. Oh, did like the whole town hang him like a Nightmare on Elm Street? It was one of those.
Yes, pretty
Sure.
much. Yeah.
I
mean, we're in the South, so it's kind of what they do.
Where are we in the South in this movie?
I couldn't fucking tell you. I was wondering that too, and then I stopped.
Yeah, I think Rob Zombie would have you just be like, it's the The name of the House of a Thousand Corpses Halloween Horror Nights thing was American Nightmare. And I think that's what he's going for, man.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about it, bro. He's making a point. What a point.
You're really reminding me with that impression of David Cross when he makes fun of like, yeah, man. Think about it, bro. Oh, High Times Magazine. The joke about High Times Magazine. Who really killed MLK? Yeah, bro. Think about it, man.
Yeah. If I ever meet Rob Zombie, he'll say to me, "Thanks for the words."
Oh, is that what he...
Do you remember that David Cross bit about meeting Scott Stapp for the first time?
That's right.
Oh, good stuff, Henry. All right. So, they go off on the road and they see a hitchhiker. And the hitchhiker is Sherry Moon Zombie, Rob's wife. Did they meet on this movie? Or are they married already? I have no idea.
I actually looked that up during the movie, and now I don't remember. I'll look it up.
You were bored?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was curious. I was like, oh, when did they meet? Since now they married in 2002, so I would assume they were already a couple.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So we met her. Who knows where? I mean, would she like give him a BJ backstage at a Rob Zombie show?
I'm gonna click right now on a link. www.sherrymoonzombie.com.
Oh my god! Please click that link.
I did. Let's see what happens.
Is it is it her website or is it like some pervert who's like obsessed with her?
Welcome to the official website for actress Sherry Moon Zombie. SMZ is known for her captivating performance of anti-hero Baby Firefly.
Yeah, captivating.
Anti-hero? Okay.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. She seems to be a sociopathic serial killer, but I guess we'll go with anti-hero.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is her thing, man. It's on Tumblr. She's got pictures of dudes with tats.
She was raised in Connecticut from a young age. In her late teens, Sherry moved to California, but continued to spend a great deal of time in the New England state. The New England state. All right.
Did she travel back in time when they being formed?
This is her IMDb bio.
The New Jersey territory.
Throughout her 20s, Sherry was a model and a dancer, appearing in many music videos. Oh, so she probably met him doing a music video. These were mostly for her then musician boyfriend, Rob Zombie, whom she later married in 2002, Henry, on Halloween. On Halloween night, Rob and Sherry Moon wed.
I remember that Halloween 2002. It was a particularly creepy one. You've got to check this fucking website out. Holy shit. Hope y'all had a wonderful, safe, fun Halloween. Thank y'all for the lovely anniversary message for Rob and I. Hashtag carving pumpkins.
Sherry has acquired a large male fan base due to certain roles allowing her to exhibit her natural beauty and shapely figure. Finally, in addition to her acting success, she has ventured into the world of clothing design, with her obvious talent finally bursting through. The range is known as, quote-unquote, Total Skull, and includes a variety of short-sleeve and long-sleeve t-shirts for both men and women, as well as hats, hoodies, masks, bandanas, and scarves. What a talented lady she is.
She really is, and I cannot take my eyes off this fucking I got it. This is ridiculous. You've got to look at it. No, she's not. I mean, she's sure, she's sexy, but I mean, the web page is just—it's so fucking stupid. I can't even. You've got to see it. It's just a never-ending series of products made by her and
Does
Rob
it have her
Zombie.
T-shirts?
Yeah, it's on the wiki page. It's on her wiki page. You click on the link. It's right fucking there. Oh my god.
All right, I'm not doing it right now. I can't.
No. Yeah, don't. But just keep it in mind.
Will do, Henry. All right,
Wow,
so they
wow,
find
wow.
her on the street. She's a hitchhiker. Chris Hardwick picks her up, and then they crash the car for like no reason. And
He gets a shotgun and blows his tire out. Remember?
oh, Mosley does that.
No, the wrestler guy.
Wrestler guy.
The guy with the long hair who doesn't have any dialogue. Not the big freak guy, but the middle guy who never speaks in anything.
Yeah, there's too many of them in this movie.
There's like 7.
Yeah, I mean, in Texas Chainsaw, I feel like you're able to get a handle on. Like, they sit at the dinner table. You're like, oh, these are all of them.
Yep, that was what I actually was this bored as that at one point when the 4 of them are getting basically slaughtered one by one. I literally was thinking in my head, I was going, well, I mean, how many are there? Could they overpower them? There's only like 4, maybe 5, but I wouldn't really count the grandpa.
There's
And then
so
I'm like,
many, though.
and there's like 7, and then I'm like, oh, forget it. They're dead. They don't stand a chance. Yeah.
And it turns out Sid Haig is one, too. So it's like, are they even all there? Like, how many...
Oh.
How many, like, home bases does the Firefly family have? Are they, like, an organization?
Oh, that's right. And if there's 1,000 corpses, I don't know if all 1,000 are under that house.
It's a great point, man. Some of them might be in a hole in, like, the Soviet Republic.
Somebody else's house. House being a term that might be, housing of 1,000 corpses, of 1,000, I like to say. Kyle P. Dot gave me shit for saying that last week. House of 1,000 corpses.
I know.
But
I only want to refer to it as that.
me too.
House
Me too.
of 1,000 corpses.
1,000. 18 stone. A house of a millennial corpse.
All right, so
Given for a British accent in this fucking film.
they need to go to the house. I don't remember why. What, to get gas? I think everyone's going to meet them at the house, and Rainn Wilson goes first with Sherry Moon.
Because she says her brother Rufus. Isn't it Rufus?
Oh, yeah, that's another one. Rufus.
He's the one who blows out their tires. She says he'll come and tow you to the house, but we'll go ahead and walk ahead. So she walks ahead with Rainn Wilson. The rest of them get towed over.
There's like a million more in the basement, too. Like, later on, when she, like, ends up in that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 corridor underneath the house, she, like,
Yes.
walks into a room, and there's just, like, 3 random maniacs in there.
The Wikipedia page explains that. A spooky word. Explains
Great,
that
great.
as it being, the remaining bodies that have still survived Dr. Satan. Because we meet him at the end, even though I thought he was the disgusting, ghoulish, reddish guy. That's apparently the husband of Karen Black.
I knew that. I got that. Is
Okay.
Dr. Satan the Axeman at the end?
He's the skeletal crypt keeper guy over the bodies that he's dissecting, and his arms are like held up by robotics.
Right.
So what the fuck is going
so
on?
stupid.
I mean, it's so absurd. I was looking at it's like, what now? The fucking crypt keeper? Is he a ghost?
Honestly, the last 20 minutes of this movie, I feel like is totally, like, not that bad. Like, the first hour, I'm, like, fine with. But, like, the last third of this movie is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in a movie. And basically, it's because I feel like we're just watching somebody go through Rob Zombie's Halloween Horror Nights house.
Yeah, I mean, it is like that. It's very much like that. And it's just kind of like, what's under this room and where's this room going to be? And then he dresses up one of the girls like a school
Of
girl.
course, yeah. All of a sudden, she looks like she's in a fucking Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah. Zack Snyder is a fucking genius compared to Rob Zombie.
I disagree. I'll take Rob Zombie over Zack Snyder.
You are crazy.
No.
way.
Devil's Rejects is better than anything Snyder's ever made.
I haven't seen it, but I highly doubt I'll think that.
I don't think you will either, but I love that
Not
movie,
gonna
and I'm excited to watch it next week. All right, House of a Thousand. So yeah, I don't need to see like a walkthrough of a fake haunted house. I don't give a shit. Like none of it makes sense. Like you really have to hammer it into a tiny little hole to get it to make sense in continuity. All of the shit that she goes through in the last 30 minutes or whatever, from being buried in that thing to it being filled up with water, to the thing like falling down a chute, going underground, like below a cemetery, to her walking into this room, to the weird Dr. Satan on like stilts or whatever, to like the Axeman from Resident Evil Afterlife showing up and trying to kill her. Like, and by the way, like another thing that is just, there's no continuity, and you can't convince me that they've ever done this before. Because Chris Hardwick, Rainn Wilson, and the two girls the two girls don't deserve names. They are not characters. They are simply shrewish assholes. And like that's all. Like the one character that is Rainn Wilson's girlfriend is just like nah the whole time. No, Rainn Wilson's girlfriend's the other one. The Hardwick's girlfriend is just like, hey, don't talk to my boyfriend, you piece of shit.
It's hard to...
Don't make me wake up. We don't have to go in there. The murder ride. This is boring. Nah.
Yeah. I just want to enjoy that echo of... Yeah.
It's just obnoxious. They're the worst.
No, it is obnoxious.
So just like they would never survive this. If this is a family that has like successfully killed 1,000 people, then how are these the ones that are escaping? And you can't tell me the fucking Axeman in the basement swinging that axe around willy-nilly. He hits one fucking pillar, the whole house comes down. And I'm like, then why is he in the basement swinging around an axe?
Well, yeah,
like,
I know.
No one ever told him not to do that before? Hey, don't swing that axe down there, man, because if you hit like one thing, we're all dead.
Yeah. Be careful. Yeah, Dr. Satan, I don't know if his vocal cords are still there, as he is just a skeleton, but you'd think he could say, remember when I'm working. Don't chop willy-nilly.
I
I
wanted him to have more of a monologue, because he looked like Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear
nothing.
Solid. And like I wish he like was like speaking like through like a breathing apparatus or something where it was like kill me.
Rufus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if we're supposed to believe that this fucking axe guy is Earl, as it says, this is Karen Black's husband. I mean,
that's the axe guy?
Yes.
What's Karen Black doing in this movie?
Well, I mean, I had the same thought. Then I was kind of thinking, it's 2003. She's probably like, I'm sure Zombie.
She didn't
was
come
like,
back, dude. They recast her for the second one.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
But he probably wanted her for like, if he because he's a film nut.
He's probably a De Palma fan or whatever.
No, like maybe he saw a Jack Nicholson movie from the 70s or some shit.
I mean, what do you think he's a fan of Karen Black through?
God, I don't know. I mean,
I'm looking her up right now. She's been in some dumb fucking 70s horror movie that like people like Rob Zombie think is a masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, I find it hard to believe he'd have seen. Isn't she in 5 Easy Pieces?
Yeah, I'm sure he's seen the 5 Easy Pieces.
I don't know. 5 Easy Pieces is shit.
That's pretty good, dude. I mean, what? Family Plot? Maybe? Trilogy of Terror? Yeah, all these movies.
Yeah, there you go.
Remember when we covered her in Airport 1975? What a masterpiece.
Sure do. That was a fun run.
Maybe he's an Easy Rider fan. I could see that.
That's what I said. I said that.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Invaders from Mars, Out of the Dark. She's done plenty of horror, man.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I knew she was there for a reason. That's not an accidental casting.
No, of course not. And she looks like she could be a serial killer because her eyes are too close together.
Right.
As I've said many times. All right, so they
in a room with Karen Black and Robin Wright Penn, you're in trouble.
Well, I don't know where to look.
Yeah, you're gonna be your eyes are gonna be in trouble, and they'll probably go for your jugular.
Oh my god!
Karen Black's dead, so I don't think we gotta worry.
I'm afraid of Robin Wright Penn's jugular. Fucking gross. So she better be wearing a turtleneck.
Beautiful woman.
Rainn Wilson gets turned into a fish. Did you enjoy that?
What the fuck was that?
Pretty random. It's a little body horror for no reason.
Yeah, like that ties in exactly to what you were saying earlier about the speeches. Like, if his speeches were leading anywhere, I'd be like, all right, he's trying to teach them Northerners about art or what the body is meant to be on the earth for. It's nothing. And then he just...
We came out of the sea
Right.
at the beginning of time, and now you're going to go back, right?
What
That would be
you-
good.
Oh, evolution. He turned... What's his fucking character's name?
Who?
Bill Mosley?
I don't remember.
Otis.
Otis, right.
Yeah, it's like Otis is like a Darwinistic professor who's like rejected from Dartmouth, so he has to. He's taking out his. There's just nothing. There's no reason. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so meanwhile, one thing that doesn't add up in the movie is that the girl who's Rainn Wilson's girlfriend is, her dad lives nearby, and they were, like, supposed to stop off, like, do a pit stop at his house. I didn't
Yeah.
understand that. They're, like, I thought they're just, like, randomly going across country.
I didn't understand it either, and I also didn't understand the proximity of where her dad lives to where they are, because they keep showing back and forth to this little town as if it's like in the same neighborhood.
I got the sense maybe it was like an hour and a half away or something, but he was friendly with the sheriff of the town they were in. So she called him up. The sheriff put his two best guys on it, some rando and Walton Goggins, and they did solve the case, to their credit. They showed up at the Firefly house. They found the car, which the brilliant serial killers, the Firefly family, left parked in front of their home.
They're smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked the cop going in and talking to Karen Black, and Karen Black sort of charming him a little bit. That's a good scene.
Yeah, it was just I kept thinking like that he was the movie. You know what he's not good at? He's not good at establishing any type of real universe. So you don't know therefore where any character is from, located, or what
Yeah.
they know or don't know.
He thinks in
Because
set pieces. He doesn't
Yes,
think in...
because I kept thinking that surely the sheriff and Walton Goggins would like, oh yeah, that fucking family. Oh yeah, we've been looking at them for a long time, but they go over there and it's like, I was shocked that the sheriff wasn't shocked.
Yeah, like,
I was
how
is
have
he
they-
walking into this house?
How has this police officer not talked to Karen Black, like,
Yeah.
once a month for years?
Very strange. Like I was like, I do not understand the world we're in. Like that he wants us to believe in here. Like these people, unknown quantities. This whole family are unknowns.
Okay, but I will say this sequence is kind of baller. It helps that it happens in the morning, so like sun's out, fun's out, and Goggins opens up that cabin, finds like everyone fucking dead, and
Yeah.
and then I really liked the cutaway, like the cutaway to the cop in the house, then getting shot in the head by Karen Black, and then
Okay.
Otis attacking them outside. And how'd you feel about that really long-ass, silent, pull-away shot to Goggins being shot?
That was the only shot in the entire movie that I liked.
Me too, and that is what Devil's Rejects is, I think. Like
It's
that,
the only shot.
that shot felt more like Devil's Rejects than anything else in this movie.
Good, because that one was like, I didn't quite even know it was such
It's
a slow.
interesting, at least.
It is interesting because like it was so slow. I even thought maybe I did think this honestly. I thought maybe my streaming had frozen.
I did too.
And it's quiet and like it steps the fuck down for a second.
Yeah.
It like turns the fucking volume down for a minute. And I
And
thought
it's
it was
so
cool.
silent that you think it's going to be silent all the way through, but then you hear the gunshot really
Yeah.
loud, which I actually
No,
like.
that's a good shot. I mean, I don't know the last movie that I saw for this show where I literally could remember like the shot that I liked as opposed to every other shot in the movie, but that's the one.
Can we talk about that's the best shot in the movie. Can we talk about my favorite scene in the movie?
Sure.
Okay, my favorite scene in the movie is when Otis and Baby go to buy liquor at a liquor store called Red Hot Pussy Liquors. And they go in there, and the guy has a name tag that says Goober.
Right.
And she makes fun of him, and he explains to them that it's really G. Ober. And that some asshole that he worked with wrote another O in there to make it Goober. And then they buy the liquor, and they give him a really big tip, and he's so happy, and they don't kill him, and they leave. I love that scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
so charming. Calling it Red Hot Pussy Liquors is a very good use of Rob Zombie's weird profanity. And I just thought this guy was so charming, and I thought Sherry Moon is very good in two different scenes in this movie. That scene and the scene where she's like seducing Rainn Wilson a little bit.
That's a bizarre sequence.
That is a weird scene, and it works really well. And I like that in that scene, Rainn Wilson's like trying to be faithful to his girlfriend. And you know what's weird though? Later in the movie, after Rainn Wilson has turned into a fish, there's a moment where they're about to like bury Chris Hardwick alive, and Baby says to him, "We could have had something," and like that could have been a really good moment if she says it to Rainn Wilson, who she had that scene with earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
But she says it to Chris Hardwick.
But since the intention the entire movie we're led to believe was to murder all of them, it wouldn't mean anything anyway. That's why
it could at least be like some sort of interesting perverse moment where like they could cut to Rainn Wilson like what?
But I think that's one of the things if a movie like this is going to be something more than a movie like House of Wax, which is much better. This movie's
both
the remake. I've never seen the original. But like if it's trying to do this kind of thing with an actual story and characters, which it is trying, then it's kind of like, don't we need one of the characters in this family to possibly not be fucking evil? And if that
we do have that. It's Matt McGorry, that enormous guy who lets her escape a little bit.
Yeah, but not out of any intuition that
out of being a dumb guy, like Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw 2. I mean, I think that's just the Texas Chainsaw 2 ripoff.
I don't even remember that.
You don't remember when he like dances with her while like her buddy is like dying on the table?
Yes, and I hated that.
And he's like wearing his face.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah. But like, okay, but so you see my point though. It's awful. But it had Dennis Hopper, so But I mean, if Sherry Moon is gonna be,
Dennis Hopper would have been fun in a Rob Zombie movie.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't get him.
Yeah, I'm a little amazed.
I got one Easy Rider. I'm gonna get another one. Where's that Henry Fonda?
Yeah. Henry Fonda is aching to work with Rob Zombie.
I got his name wrong too on purpose. You understood that joke?
Peter Fonda?
Yeah.
Great.
I said Henry.
I know. All right. She gets away, but she doesn't really because Sid Haig picks her up as a hitchhiker, and Otis is in the back seat, and whatever. And then we get the end with a question mark. Interesting. We're hosting a show called The Franchise. It's fun. Is this the first time we've seen the end with a question mark?
Oh, boy, I didn't think so.
I love the end with a question mark.
For this show, we've never seen a movie that ends with like that?
Not that I can think of. I wish more movies and franchises had the end with question marks. Like, if a franchise is doing okay but not great, like, say they're on the movie where, like, if this doesn't do well, we're probably going to have to stop this franchise. They should throw at the end with a question mark at the end.
They should do it at the end of the last, like, 10 years. They should have put that at the end of every Daniel Craig Bond movie.
Yeah, for sure. That would...
return?
Right. Well, that's what they do instead. They say James Bond will return. That's
Question mark at it because we're all like, Willie.
Yeah, but you could do that. Like at the end of that Fantastic Four movie from a few years ago, pop a question mark at the end there. All right, and then you hear Brick House 03 by Rob Zombie, which was great. And that's the end of a wonderful film. What do you give it, Henry? Or do you have more shit to say about it?
No.
All right, me neither. What do you give it?
1 star.
Really? Yeah, I kind of figured you'd give it a 1 star, but like to me, this is like definitely enough for a 2.
Okay. Yeah, I hated it. I hated like every fucking second of it.
Yeah.
I just not into it. It was just. I guess I was expecting something way more along the lines of just something ultra violent, but I knew it would be fucking gruesome and disgusting and not my cup of tea in that way, but I thought it would be skillful. And it's just
it's not. Well, it's his first film. He has no skills.
Yeah, but it's his first film, but I mean, that's not really an excuse for...
No, but I feel like he cut his teeth on this fucking movie. He'd done music videos, and he did the animated sequence in Beavis and Butthead Do America. But, like, to me, this isn't even a movie. This is, like, a Rob Zombie directing reel. And then, like, he became a filmmaker after. I do think, like, Rob Zombie has become a filmmaker with, like, a point of view and shit. But, like,
really?
None of that is really on display here. This is just, like, a collection of the things he's a fan of.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know, because, I mean, Halloween and his Halloween 2, they're terrible as well.
I agree. I think both of those are fucking horrible, but I do think that Halloween 2, at least, is the work of a distinctive filmmaker.
All right.
How do you rank this against those?
Oh, man. I mean, I guess I would take those 2 Halloween movies over this.
Just because they've got, like, Michael Myers in them?
I tried to block them out of my mind, and I did not like either, but...
I'll take Sid Haig over, like, the big, giant, like, wrestler bodybuilder version of Michael Myers.
Yeah, of course. But, I mean, I just... he's just... those movies had at least... had somewhat of a through line, something that you're anticipate. Oh, what's he gonna do with it? But he's just, I don't know. He is just not.
Do?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know, dude. I'm trying to be nice, and I don't know why. It's just not my cup of chai. So I'd be very interested to see if in the next one, Devil's Rejects, I get something I can hang on to besides just fucking shit thrown in my face for 2 hours.
I think that watching the next one, you will be able to say that it's a skillfully made movie. I'm not saying you will definitely not give it a 1. I
don't even think I'll...
I can't count on that. I think you'll give it at least a 2, but I think there's a chance that it's just like sometimes I like shit that's fucked up and like you're not into it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, and vice versa,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, you didn't like Texas Chainsaw 2, you don't like Hills Have Eyes, you don't like Last House on the Left, and, like, that's all. That's fine. That's up to you.
Hills Have Eyes, we haven't done yet, and it's been an extremely long time for that one. So when I do see that again, I will be very...
I'd love to cover that for the show, because the second one I've never seen, and I know Wes Craven directed it, and it's, like, a weird movie.
Yeah. And there's 2 or 3...
I think there's 2 in the original, and then they made a remake, and then there's a sequel to the remake.
Okay, yeah, I saw the first remake. I did see that.
I've only ever seen the original Hills Have
Eyes, all right.
But I fucking loved that movie.
All
like,
right.
it's a 4, maybe 5. Henry, who's your MVP?
Goggins.
Hey, listen, I'm never going to argue with a Walton Goggins MVP. Is this the second time covering Goggins on the pod?
Yeah, what did we just...
Major League Back to the Minors.
What, that was it? He's never been in anything else?
He was like the golden boy on that team, remember?
No,
he got called up to the majors.
I just thought we had something else with him in it. I guess not.
Maybe. I mean, I love Walton Goggins, and anybody out there who's never seen The Shield or Justified, like, both of those are, like, 2 of the best.
Yeah, and Vice Principals is fucking genius.
Oh, you're totally fucking right. Vice Principals is great too.
Jesus Christ, Gamby.
Hey, yeah, Jody Hill is like good at that. Jody Hill does what Rob Zombie does with dialogue well.
Right. With a southern accent.
Yes.
Yeah, his jokes are funny.
Yeah, you're right. So who's your LVP? Oh, I give it to Sid Haig. Sid Haig's my MVP. Who's your LVP?
Okay. I mean, the LVP was really hard. I mean, I wanted to give it to Hardwick.
I'm giving it to Hardwick, that fat, disgusting piece of shit. By the way, have we talked about how he's super fat in this movie? Because he is.
Oh, we didn't.
Yeah, he's really fat.
Yeah.
Tub of lard.
Tub of lard.
Anyway,
he's not the skinny friend of Rainn Wilson.
No, he's not. He's the fat friend. I truly hate Chris Hardwick. I think he is an awful human being and a piece of shit who has no good ideas and no talent. And he's a bad interviewer. He's a bad comedian. I have seen him live do stand-up at a festival, and he was terrible. And he was the worst of, like, the maybe 10 performers I saw that day. Then I've listened to his podcast quite a bit because I'm a fan of Jonah Ray, who's one of his co-hosts. And it is just it's tough to get through. Like, he'll have on like someone like Tom Hanks, where it's like, boy, Tom Hanks on a podcast. I can't wait to listen to that.
Yeah.
And he'll make the interview unlistenable. Because the whole time he'll be like, hey, what was Apollo 13 like? That was a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the kind of guy you just want to fucking punch.
What are you into? Are you a nerd too? Did you read comics growing up? Fuck you.
I hate that too. I hate that whole thing. We've talked about that. His obsession with the give me a break.
And he's a fucking gatekeeper. He is like the ultimate like just like, oh, jocks. They don't belong here. They can't enjoy movies. Like, it's fuck you.
Yeah. No, he's an idiot. I'm not a fan either.
He's dumber than Rob Zombie.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll listen to a Rob Zombie podcast before I listen to a Chris Hardwick podcast.
It'd be something to listen to, that's for sure. I don't know, man. Boy, you've kind of turned me then. Maybe I should just give it to Hardwick.
No, but there's like a million to choose from. I like Bill Moseley in Devil's Rejects, but I think he's actively bad in this movie.
Well, that's who I wrote. I mean, he's who I wrote down. I mean, he's Otis gets my LVP.
My second place would honestly be Hardwick's girlfriend.
Oh, I mean, both women were so indistinguishable, even physically, that I couldn't tell who's.
I can only tell who's who because the one who survived, like there was like a final girl. They decided like 20 minutes left in the movie, like we should have a final girl, and so that's Wilson's girlfriend.
Right, that's true.
Hardwick's is just like never stops just being a shrill fucking piece of shit shrew the entire movie. And like, it's not the actor's fault, obviously. Like, I have no idea if the actor is good. This is just
fine. Yeah.
An impossibly bad role.
Yeah.
For anybody.
Yeah,
but,
it wouldn't mattered.
But I think it's so much due to Zombie's writing that I have to give it to Hardwick for having what I think is the worst single performance in the movie.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. As this is being done for our boy Kyle
P. Dot. Check out his SpongeBob SquarePants sex rap on YouTube. I did.
Okay.
Not bad.
All right. Well, he did request of me specifically when he pays for a specific franchise that I do.
Superhero count, of course. Go ahead.
So here it is for you, Kyle. Here's the theme.
I love that enormous swell of music for this movie.
All right, we got 6. So strap in, Kyle. It's all for you, bro. Sid Haig was played the Royal Apothecary in 2 episodes of the 1966 Batman.
Who the fuck? I think I could picture that, actually.
Must have been the villain, I would think.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think I've seen those episodes.
I must have, too. I think I've seen all of them. So,
yeah, me too. All right.
Chris Hardwick.
Oh, well, we got to get him. He's the king of the nerds. We got to get him for a cameo and some superhero shit.
Especially that awesome, mellifluous baritone voice to play Green Arrow in the 2007-2008 cartoon The Batman. That's your Green Arrow, folks.
Hey, it's me, Oliver Queen. I have a bow and arrow. Hey! Oh. All right.
Rainn Wilson played Lex Luthor in the 2018 The Death of Superman, and Lex Luthor again in Batman Hush, which was a 2019
Yeah,
thing.
that's an animated adaptation of that Jeff Loeb comic. Yeah, I bet he's a good Lex Luthor voice-wise.
I can see that
Vocally,
too.
that works, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, and he played him again in Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War.
So they're into him. They like him as Lex Luthor.
Yeah, 3 different
DC's
things.
current Lex Luthor.
That's right. Walton Goggins. He played
Suicide Squad, right? I think he's in the new Suicide Squad, like the one they're working on by James Gunn.
Okay. That could be true, but he's not in the credits I found. He
Okay.
is, however, Detective Stan Roberts in The Crow Salvation.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, Rob Zombie wrote an unused draft of that film.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's...
Might be where he met Walton.
And, of course, I had forgotten this, but he is in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Walton Goggins is, playing Sonny Birch.
I had forgotten that, but sure. Why not?
Almost done. Matthew McGrory.
He's that big guy. He looks like my giant.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Ooh, Righteous Gemstones, too. That's another great Walton Goggins. That's another Jody Hill show. Have you watched that?
I didn't care for it, but I watched the first few episodes, yes.
I think it's great.
I know. Matthew McGrory is in a demon in the movie Constantine.
Yeah, because he looks weird.
Unseen by me.
Oh, I saw it in theaters.
And finally, of course, we didn't talk about this actor at all, but that's okay. Michael J. Pollard, who's just pretty much in the beginning as Sid Haig's kind of buddy.
Yeah, he's taking that big old fucking turd in the bathroom.
Right, and he's like been in a lot of tons of movies. He's real weird looking and goofy, little big nose.
Spalding, I'm headed to the fucking shitter. All right? All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Of course, he was in Bonnie and Clyde and all that. Everybody knows. Anyway, so
take a look at my fucking pooper over here.
I wish the dialogue was just that. It would never be that direct.
No, remember? I think in one of the Halloween movies, they like someone checks out a girl's ass and they're like, "Check out the pooper on her."
God.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. Anyway, Michael J. Pollard played Bugs Bailey in Dick Tracy, 1990 Dick Tracy.
Classic.
That's it.
Oh, great. Who was Michael J. Pollard in this movie?
Stucky, the friend.
Oh, right. Sorry, we just went through this. I got so distracted doing that voice.
I know, you were in character.
I was in character. Henry, are we done?
Yeah, I think we thoroughly talked about this film.
We really fucking did. Thanks to Kyle P. Next week, we're continuing on the Rob Zombie train. One more week. Devil's Rejects and 3 from Hell. Closing chapters of the Firefly trilogy.